I heard actually about a little Schoology mishap that I wanted to ask about as of late. Maybe a little U.S. history honors assignment put in the AP macro. But Fordham Prep students, we're dedicated. We like to work.
I got a thesis on the Gilded Age from AP Macro. That's just great.
Welcome back to Ramblin'. I'm your host, Peter Canale, here with my gorgeous co-host, Ryan Irvin.
What's up?
And today we are joined by a member of two different Hall of Fames, the CHSAA Coaching Hall of Fame and Fordham Prep's Ring of Honor here, and Hall of Fame, right? Both?
It's Hall of Honor, right?
Reign of Honor.
I thought it was
He's
the
in the Reign of Honor.
No, I said the Ring of Honor. I thought it was the Ring of Honor.
Oh. Is that a thing?
I don't know. That's the Giants, right? Okay,
see,
not in that one yet.
the
I
Giant-
know I'm in two others, right? I'm in the Track and Field Fordham Prep Hall of Fame.
Hey.
I didn't put myself in that, but I
Anyway,
am I also am in the Armory Hall of Fame.
Oh.
It's a lot of
Okay.
Hall of Fames.
Anyway,
for just
That is a
one
lot of
guy.
Hall of Fames.
That's what happens when you get older.
You get Hall of Fame
Yeah,
awards?
you get Hall of Fame
They
awards.
just shut them up and put them in the Hall of Fame.
So, Mr. Phelps, this is a rare time for you. This is the, what is it, the 2-day period between seasons for you?
It is. It's kind of manufactured. We were going to start on Monday, but I was just so exhausted on Sunday after the Nationals that I decided to start on Wednesday. Plus, the weather didn't look so good. So you picked the right time. Pretty good.
Wait, you don't even take a week?
Nope. We were going to start on Monday, and we decided to start on Wednesday for the upperclassmen. So
Oh, wait, the underclassmen are running right now?
the freshmen are running. Yes.
In that weather? In the snowy weather?
Yeah. Coach Stefan, new coach we got this year. Great coach.
That's hilarious.
You guys ever run like a storm?
Not really a storm. I mean, listen, never dangerous, but years ago, one time, kids came and said it was 19 degrees out, and the kids came and said, are we canceling practice? It's just too cold. And I said, no, it doesn't hit the standard. And they said, what's the standard? And I said, well, 18 degrees. Now I just made that up, but they thought it had been on forever, and ever since then, 18 degrees is the cutoff.
Wait, Mr. Phelps, I think you're our first Hall of Famer, though. Was Mr. Ahern a Hall of Famer? Maybe. Okay, wait.
Should have looked at the
Are
list.
there any? We should have. Are there?
No, he wasn't. They would have posted about it.
What comes with being a Hall of Famer? Like, do you get like a crown
bonus.
or
Nice
like
plaque.
Crowd?
Nice plaque.
A crowd?
I
You-
did
you
not
get a
get
key?
a key. You heard that story?
What?
No.
No.
Well, in my little acceptance speech, I had said, "Look, now that I'm in the Hall of Honor, I just have one little request, and that is, when I got here years ago, I noticed that, and it still exists. I got a G1 key that gets you into the classrooms and a couple other places, but a lot of people get the skeleton key. I think it's called the GM key. Now, for years, I'd been asking. Now, I had a slightly antagonistic relationship with maintenance, because track was always the biggest team, and they necessarily kind of caused a lot of damage in places, not because they're bad kids, because they're a huge team and it happens, and I got blamed, and a lot of demands, and I get it.
Yeah.
But I never got the skeleton key, the GM key as it's called.
Uh-huh.
But as I got older, I saw, you come in here and you work in HAP. You come in here and you work in the office. Some of these guys are, wonderful faculty colleagues of mine are 23, 24 years old.
Hold themselves
They're
back
flashing
here.
the key.
Wow.
Mr. Bukowski,
They're
when he heard
flexing
about
on
this,
you, like-
absolutely. After the dinner, when I complained about this, I said, "Hey, can I get the key?" Mr. Bukowski actually said, he whipped out the key and said, "I've had this from the day I walked in here." And he was like 22 when he started teaching here.
Whoa.
They're having fun with it. It's just great. But so at the
now
end,
you want it.
Mr. Carney gave me a key that was made by an oversized key made by the 3D printing club. It was all very cool. Yeah. It was an exact model of the GM key.
But you,
But I still don't have the key. That's what I got for being in the Hall of Fame. Other than a wonderful day, a wonderful night. It was just,
Yeah.
you were there.
Some great live
One of the
music, right?
The live music was amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but Mr. Lagama came to me and said, "You got some songs. This can be your set." I just told him, I think Coltrane and Monk and Miles, and you guys played it tremendously. I'll have you know, at the dinner when you guys were playing Equinox and all the great songs, my children are, you know, all adults now. They kept tapping each other like, sounds as Dad always used to play these songs. What is? And then the next song would come on. What is going on here? You know, and just let them, you know. So
It was an
kinda fun.
honor. Was it? Oh, but since '89, you feel like the school's changed a lot since.
Sure, it's changed a lot, but in other ways, it's not changed at all. It was a blast meeting the kids early on. I mean, I was 22 years old, and in so many ways, you know, kids are the same. You know what I mean? Like some of your parents I might have taught. Who knows? In other ways, of course, there's been change, but
Yeah.
it's been fun for 35 years straight.
And now we got that technology. We got Schoology.
But do you think there wasn't any technology in 1989?
There was no Schoology. There was no Schoology in '89.
technology.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
In the 2000s, you had Moodle. I
You
heard
had
that was.
Moodle, yeah,
I
pretty
heard that was
good.
a huge thing.
Imagine
A
I
lot
started teaching before there was an internet.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, I heard actually about a little Schoology mishap that I wanted to ask about as of late. There was potentially. So you teach AP Macro and U.S. history, right?
Yes.
Maybe a little U.S.
Honors.
history honors assignment put into the AP Macro. But Fordham Prep students, we're dedicated. We like to work. I heard some kids were doing some U.S. history homework in
Yes.
Macro.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's so funny that I might make a very
Understandable.
honest, understandable mistake. And I put a American history assignment in one of my 4 macro classes, Schoology pages. Obviously, they should have all known. Oh, Mr. Fell. Someone could have emailed. Hey, Mr. Febles, one of my 102 or whatever AP macro students could have said, "Hey, Mr. Febles, I think this is for American history." No, I have to find out in class.
When someone submits an entire
Yes.
paragraph.
I got a thesis on the Gilded Age from AP Macro. That's just great.
Oh, that's awesome.
You absorb too much chlorine, I think. I got connections, you know, like a
Yeah.
jazz musician playing a riff, right? Bring it back.
For real.
Speaking of jazz, how did you first like really get into jazz? Who were your favorite artists? And like,
Dad, of course, was a big jazz fan. I mean, he grew up in the 50s, and he would sneak into the great clubs, the Village Vanguard, and all that stuff with his friends. And then I had an interesting episode. I did something wrong in 8th grade,
Whoa.
and the nun who was in charge said to me, when I didn't apologize as quickly as the other kids, and I came and apologized after, she said, George, you're just a follower, you know, and you just do what everyone else does, so I'm not accepting your apology. That hurt. So I remember vowing, I'm going to do different things and like this. So, you know, back then you had to choose between disco and rock. I chose jazz. And it became a bit, you know, isn't it funny? Little life-changing moment, you know. Thank you, Sister Elizabeth. At St.
Shout out
Matthew's
Sister Elizabeth.
in Hastings. And, you know, tried not to be a follower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so became, and then I, earnestly began to like jazz starting in the early 80s, I guess, about 14 years old, something like that. And, you know, you kind of discover your dad's music. And you guys do that, you know. My own son just told me, you know, he always hated my music, and now he's listening to it, you know, Matthew here.
wow.
It's the dream.
I guess they got something, you know. I guess they're not so dumb. That's always a nice thing when you're
Wait, so we got to ask, like, what got you into track? Because
Again, it's family again. Dad was a track coach. He was a track coach at Xavier High School. He taught at Xavier. Then he went on to coach while he was teaching at Xavier. He then went to coach at Regis. And then, so when I was at the university, I was not running track. I ran track in high school at Xavier. And when I was at university, I didn't. But I ran a lot. And I was good friends with a guy named Kieran Donnelly, who, while he was in school here, he was a track coach as a college senior or whatever. And then he got a job teaching here. But he really wanted to go be on Wall Street. And halfway through his first year teaching here, he had to leave. He went to Wall Street and called me up. I was teaching at Aquinas High School, not far from here. And said, would you take over the track team? And mid-year, 1988. And that, you know, the rest is history there. That's where things began.
yeah. we do have questions rolling in. Jack O'Leary wants to know what you think about Silicon Valley.
Who is it?
Jack O'Leary.
Jack O'Leary. You wish we had this discussion about Silicon Valley.
We did.
Well, the people haven't heard it.
Yes. Well, Jack knows. We went through it in class and, you know, had a little economics lesson. It's interesting how it meshed with the talk of bonds and stuff and interest rates that we've been talking about in class. You know, so what do I think about it? Yes.
It's a cool place.
I'm okay. Well, listen,
lot to
I'm
do.
okay. I'll go on record as saying I'm okay with a little more regulation, and you know, you may get some nasty emails about
Ben
that.
Korzenik wants to ask about the Gilded Age, so I guess we can say that was Ben.
Does he want me to grade his
You should.
Jackson Del Fiora, this is a good question. Why do you say sweet quiz or sweet review? What is the genesis of sweet?
There is an explanation for that, and I can't remember it right now. Most of the
Well, what's some
things
context,
I've said,
like for the people that aren't in your
awesome.
class?
Sweet means this. We're gonna have a sweet quiz, guys. So this is you got to get excited about this. This is a quiz. This is
sweet.
nice.
Yeah,
I can't remember that. All the silly things I say have some
story.
usually in music or some pop culture thing. For years, some of the older alumni would say, I would say to kids, start class by saying, take out your crazy notes. Guys, take out your crazy notes. And it was just
You
from
gotta
this,
bring that back.
It was just from this pizza commercial where it says, hey, it's Little Caesars. I got crazy bread. I like crazy bread. Makes no sense. But it went on for years. And then somehow you stopped using notebooks. So they don't have to take out crazy notes. Sweet, I can't remember what it is, but I think my kids, wasn't there a show called Sweet Life?
The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
I think my kids would watch that, and that's where that, you'd sit there and, oh no, not this show again, And I think that maybe that's where it came from. I don't know.
Ryan Shuck wants to ask about the track senior trip to Boston.
What about it? It was a great trip.
I heard, but I
the
heard
pipe
like it went
burst.
down. Like
Some
pipe
crazy
burst.
stuff went down. A pipe burst on the top floor. So I bring 40 kids to Boston on the coldest day in like 9 years, right? It was
like
0 degrees.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
And they were on the top floor. A lot of them were on the top floor, and a pipe burst. Hot water, too. Starts pouring into, I know Rebel, when Wozen was in that room. And, all the fire alarms go off. And I've been through this kind of stuff before, so I immediately get on the phone because I think that everyone in the hotel is going to try and go to other hotels. And that's going to be tough with 40 kids.
yeah,
Got some wonderful lady in downtown Boston. She got us into a much nicer hotel at the same rate. No, a little more expensive. Sorry, Fordham Prep.
it's okay.
And
SMP, am I
had a
right?
great. It was just wild experience. Another thing I learned economics from that was I didn't want to take the kids out to dinner because I didn't want to, deal with that.
So much.
Finding a place for 40 kids.
Ridiculous.
So I said, everybody order. And I had this picture that they'd all get together and order together, and maybe it would mean 3 or 4 delivery guys. No, it was 40 delivery guys. And that showed me why there's 3.6% unemployment. 40 different guys came within 15 minutes, all bang, bang, no problem. Delivered their food, efficiency. That
Uber
told
Eats.
me, huh?
Awesome. Uber Eats.
Are you an Uber Eats
Uber
guy?
Eats.
Everyone probably went on their phone.
That was like a
Uber Eats.
Seamless or Grubhub or whatever.
You know what I don't get when you order it and then you see them on the bike, like they're riding a bicycle with the.
Well,
it takes forever.
No, in some places it's quicker. Like if you're in
Or
New York
e-bikes.
City,
New York City,
if you're in
yeah.
New York City, it's way quicker.
I mean, like from a Westchester perspective.
There's not been one.
That happened to me last week on a bicycle
Why
Why is that strange?
I don't believe that.
because
Where'd you order it from? Somewhere far.
McDonald's
from
in
your
New Rochelle.
house? To your house?
Yeah, he was on a bicycle.
There's no way he took a bicycle from New Rochelle.
No, that's why I was so
No
confused.
way.
It took like an hour. He was on a bike. I guess that's efficiency. Like, use what you got.
Was
You know,
it food
like
cold. By
Yeah.
the time we got there.
it was like lukewarm. John Barisano wants to know how does
Oh.
it feel being
That's what it is.
the fall of fame?
Being the fall of fame?
Yeah, how does it feel?
Sure, the fall of fame. Yes. Honored to be in the fall of fame. Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
All
to
right.
be the fall of fame. Massimo D'Onofrio
Okay.
wants to know what's your favorite musical? Are you a theater fan?
Great
Is that what
question.
you-
So my kids, older kids, Krista and Paul. Krista went to Ursuline, and Paul was prepster here, class 15.
I don't mean to interrupt, but Ursuline, you said it like that,
What did I
Ursuline?
say?
No, you said Ursuline.
What should
The
I
only
say?
person who I've known who said that is my grandma. She's the only other person who's ever called her Ursuline.
You're on the ageist kick here, aren't you?
No, it's
You
just
know?
like
I
I've
thought
never.
it's Ursuline.
Now I've heard that from 2 people who are
The
completely-
Ursuline School, no?
I
It
thought
could be
Ursuline.
Ursuline.
I
The
thought it was
principal
Ursuline.
there is Miss Teresa Napoli, who is assistant principal here. You guys should send her a quick email, say what is the correct pronunciation.
We should.
We should do that.
Because-
Anyway, they were
yeah.
both big
Sorry.
into the theater here. Krista was the lead in Damn Yankees, and I know she was in Bye Bye Birdie. They were real favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma, that could be number 1. And Paul was the lead in in Godspell and The Wedding Singer, which was a lot of fun and stuff like that. So I could say Oklahoma maybe. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's a good one.
It was.
I
Older
think a
one.
lot of people in the school have a soft spot for musicals. Like you wouldn't think about Mr. Fedak loves musicals.
Does he?
Yeah. Mr. Jorno loves musicals. I hear about it a lot because Jimmy Duffy and him love having banter.
I had a great banter with Jimmy Duffy over the while he was preparing. I would just stop him in the hall and start singing lines from Guys and Dolls.
I hear you're a singer. Like I hear you got a voice.
And he would, Jimmy was funny because he'd always say, "No, stop it! I'm not." And then two bars in, he couldn't help but just join in and start singing. And laugh away.
Yeah, Jimmy loves
You know
to do that. I'll be walking into Quest Motif class, and then Jimmy will just be singing.
Yeah.
He's like, "Have you heard of this musical from 1954?" I'm like, "No, Jimmy, no, I haven't. I really haven't."
It's been fun. Same with Massimo, and it's been a blast to watch those guys perform. And you guys have been great.
Thank you.
As you were, of course, as Sky Masterson. Great stuff.
Brian Griffin wants to know how the NVIDIA stock is doing.
NVIDIA's bounced back nicely. Became a source of great derision. As you know, I bought about a year ago at 244. I thought that I had, as far as, not that I have very much money to invest, but I thought in the supply problems that we were having, that of course the, chip makers like NVIDIA are going to do well. Poured some money in, and it just tanked.
Mm-hmm.
But I kept buying, and now it's back, and I'm above water, and
That's all that matters.
So
I think, I don't know if it's very well known, but we your AP macroeconomics students, we have invested real money. So what's the organization look like for that to have to, like, where does that money come from, first of all, and like how do you organize all of it?
For years I've been trying to get members of the board to authorize this. It's been done in college for years. Investment clubs, in high school it's never been done. Well, public schools don't have an endowment, and private schools, I guess, they're a little skittish about letting kids do this. And a few years ago, Mr. Tom Huvane, who's on the board, class of '84, he thought it sounded like a great idea, great teaching moment, great teaching tool, and we worked on it together. And this is the fourth year we're doing it. Gave us $100,000. Now the school's endowment, our kind of savings account, is about $50 million, a little less than $50 million, and we got 100,000 of that to invest.
And we're taking it to the moon.
Well, we'll see. We have not invested yet, so it's up to 200,000 now. They made a lot of money in a couple of years.
Hey,
Well, the first it carries over year to year.
Oh,
So this is the fourth year.
so we still made money.
We still have the money, but now, strangely, we have not actually invested it yet this year. There's some training that goes on, and then we are bogged down in a very interesting fight, and that is that stocks we've chosen. Some are a little bit objectionable to some students, that they feel that tobacco company, Philip Morris, oil company Exxon, that investing in them would be going against the ideals that are being taught here at Fordham Prep. And of course, opposing arguments say, our job is to raise money for scholarships and things like that. These are great questions, hard to resolve. We're going to try and resolve them by a vote. Even we've had some discussion, and we'll see. But we're learning, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And maybe making money too. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Are you a cook, Mr. Philbus?
I am, as a matter of fact. Yes. I'm
like
in locked-in battle with Mr. Gonzalez over our discovery 4 or 5 years ago of the Instant Pot. So we have done the Instant Pot recipes, and we come in bragging about the things that we've made, and I'm way better.
Ooh.
Yeah, no big
just
deal.
saying.
We need a cook-off. Forget the race.
That's-
like, let me eat while I enjoy you compete.
We've had one a few years ago. I brought in some Instant Pot ribs. He made some tremendous paella. They were both really good. That was just fun. So who knows? You're carrying the Instant Pot to school, though.
We just might have to. Oh, no. All right, 5 minutes left. Let's do rapid fire.
Oh, that's how it goes? Oh.
Doesn't have to be rapid fire, actually.
What
but
was your favorite race to run in high school?
My favorite race would have been the mile. Yes.
What was your mile time? What did it get down to?
Mile time was only about 4:50, something like that.
Wow.
But
John Canale can run faster.
John Canale has not run faster yet, but he will run faster than that. John will do really well.
I know.
Yep.
Favorite movie?
Ooh.
Favorite movie? It's a Wonderful Life.
It's my dad's favorite movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's a good one.
a great one.
I'm going to say it's wonderful. Come on.
Wow.
Come on. You
All
got
right,
me
well,
there.
the Ramblin' Sign's starting to quit.
Wow.
So
Anything else, Mr. Felbus? Anything else you wanted to...
No, it's great to be part of this great tradition. I hope you guys find a way to let it continue with, maybe you should train some
Yeah,
So,
well,
underlings.
we'll
and
find a
get
way.
this going. Yeah, this is really nice.
Thanks,
All
Mr.
right.
Felbus. Wait, we end every episode, though. If you want to say something to the people, literally anything about anything,
yeah, those guys.
you could say happy birthday, Matt. You could say shout out
Join the track team. It's
Track
never too late to
team.
join freshman
Never
track.
never too late to join cross country.
right to the camera.
No,
Yeah.
just want to say thanks. It's been an amazing year, and my seniors and my juniors have been a blast. Congrats to all the All-Americans just this past weekend. Thanks to my colleagues, especially my great coaches. I take a lot of credit for things that other coaches do. So,
It's the American way.
but right.
What?
But thank you guys. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Mr. Felbus.
This is crazy. This is crazy. 2 pizzas, 2 free Crazy Breads, 2 free soft drinks, all for $7.98 at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.